Welcome, welcome. This will be the first ever episode of this little podcast I will be doing. Really undecided on the name of the podcast of the whole thing. I'm undecided about a lot of things, but for sure I'm just definitely doing something. When it comes to me, it'll come to me. Well, first and foremost, my name is Keith Robinson, and for now, my screen name is going to be Black Little Mac. That's a name I've thoroughly enjoyed. One of my favorite games when I was a child. Characters, it was the Little Mac boxing game. If you played it, shout out to the real OGs. But anyway, that name came from a few different sources. So when I met a friend early this semester at college, he called me. He said I looked like Bernie Mac. So then from there, I was like, oh, fuck it. Yeah, if I do this, I'm going to be Young Mac. Because I like it. I liked it. I like that aspect of it. So then later on, my friend Justin comes up and he's like, damn. Well, he didn't say damn, but, well, he's like, man, why, just be Young Mac? Why don't you be like the Black Little Mac? So just a quick side note behind my screen name and my choices of my screen name. Regardless of that, this will be the first ever episode. I don't know how long I'm going to go for. I don't know how I'm going to talk for. Usually, I'm going to try to make sure it's at least no longer than an hour. If it's longer than an hour, we'll just see from there. I don't know. This is the first one, so this is kind of trial and error thing shit. But today, most definitely, what I want to be talking about is something that really needs to be talked about with like young people, and I think just people in general in 2019. Well, especially moving into 2019, as the year just starting off, as values and goals. Most people don't know what they are. They don't know what they want. They don't know if they want to strive for the stars or go further and beyond, go plus ultra. And I'm here to say that's generally how it goes. As you grow older, you just don't know what you want, especially as a kid. You didn't know, you kind of told everything that you wanted, but you didn't know exactly what you wanted. So with that, I'm going to give you a simple breakdown of what each word is, and I'm going to give examples of, I'll say good examples of one, and I'm going to share my values and goals with everyone who listens to this. I don't know who's going to listen to this, but anyone who's listening to that. All right, first is a value. The dictionary definition of a value is the regard that something is held to deserve the importance, worth, or usefulness of something. First definition. Second definition is the one I'm going to be talking about more in depth tonight, is a person's principle or standards of behavior, one's judgment, or one's judgment of what is important in life. That right there is something that I think everybody needs to soak in. Everybody needs to get into their, mentality, and to get into their head, because that one thing, a person's principle, right? That one phrase, I want to say phrase, it's like 3 words. That those 3 words should always be embedded in a person's brain. A person's principles. Now, a person's principles can be as high and low as they go, as they want to. But for instance purpose, if you want to be successful, you want to be something, you want to do something in life, you got to aim higher than what everybody else has done. So when you get into your values and you get into looking back on it and, writing them out, or story, whatever you do to establish your values, first and foremost, you need to look deep inside of yourself and deep inside of your conscience, deep inside of your soul, deep inside of everything and anything that is something involved with who you are as a person. That should motivate you to at least have a better sense of yourself. Now, that is, I don't know, it's kind of getting off topic, but in a sense, a value is pretty much your standard of life. Now, most people would look at this like standards or being bougie or being pretentious or somewhere around that mark, but what they truly are is just how you want your life to set out and how you want your life to be panned out in the long run, and not just for you, but for whoever you with, or whoever comes across you in any way, shape, or form. Now, that's just values, and I want everybody who hears this to get to a point where you have a set amount of values, a set amount of principles that you follow, and don't let anybody take it away from you. All right, the next thing is goals. Most people I come across in my general age group is I say shit about late teens, early 20s, like late teens, early 20s, like 19, 20, 21, shit like that. They don't have a solid goal of, a solid idea of where they're going to. Now, granted, this is not bad, because at the age of 18, you're not going to know what you're going to do in life. You're not. At the age of 20, at the age of 22, I still don't know what I'm going to do in life. I have a general idea of what I want to do in life. I have a general purpose in mind of what I want to do in life, but I don't know what I want to do in life. So now this is going deeper into goals. Because to set a goal for yourself as a young person gives you a sense of structure, and it gives you a sense of purpose. Setting goals potentially gets you to understand yourself more, number one, and it allows you to unlock the, hidden potential of who you are going to pan out to be. First and foremost, this isn't a clip saying, hey, you should have a goal by the age of 18 of how you want your life drawn out. Shit, at 18, I had my first kid. I wasn't expecting that at 15. When I was 15, I just didn't pop up say, shit, I want to have a kid at 18, but it happened. So then I had to readjust my goals from there. So I don't want anybody to look back on this and say, this is, he's telling me that I need to have a goal by a certain age and blah, blah. No, I'm not telling you that. What I'm telling you is to set goals for yourself. Even if it's small stuff, even if it's like 3 years from now, I want to have a car. And you're like 18, so you're going to be like 21 at this point. So 3 years from now, I want to have a car. Then another 3 years from that, I want to be in school, graduated, blah, blah, blah. You go from there. Give yourself a sense of structure, to where you will understand not only who you are as a person, but who you want to be as a person. Now, with that being said, obviously I can sit here and talk about just general goals, but I'm going to share some of my goals. My goal for the rest of this year is to progressively and consistently put out this podcast with myself and a variety of different people, whether I know them, I've gotten to know them, I don't know them, whatever the case may be. I want this to be, for one, a safe haven for people just to talk about what is real in the world, whether it be shit, whatever's in the news. It could be personal shit that goes on. It could be anything that pops up into their head. So that's my goal for the entire year 2019. 5 years from now, I plan on being in my career. Hopefully. This is terrible because life can't change, but I plan on being in my career in 5 years, in 2024, somewhere around that, and then progressively getting better at it to where I own my own studio. My whole general plan, my whole wide goal is within the next 10 years that I own my own studio, a production studio where I produce anime, music, stuff like that, and even podcasts, videos, just general stuff like that. That is my 10-year goal. That is my long-term goal. And this is what I forgot to mention earlier. There are such things as long-term and short-term goals. Now, granted, long-term goals are more, as the name implies, they're something that you're going to achieve at a longer time frame, whereas short-term goals you're going to achieve, you plan to achieve them rather quickly. So my short-term goal would be to produce this podcast on a week-to-week basis and have it help somebody, even if it's one person out of a week that I help or give a voice to, or just give them something to look forward to in life. That's all I can ask. That's my short-term goal, just for this year. the next 3 years, I wanted to grow past just me being in my room in my grandmother's house to me being in my own house, being in my own room, this production studio, this castle. That's my goal. My my short term goal. The first one is like, I'll say, maybe a tiny goal, but as far as that's my short term goal, to have my own place, to have my own setup, to kind of get things rolling. As again, my long term goal, as I mentioned earlier, was to own my own production studio, animation studio, whatever you want to call it, in 10 years. So I'm 22 now. So I hope, hopefully by the time I'm 32, I got this done. I could get everything under wraps and kind of go from there. But for now, this is gonna be my way in and way out. You know what I'm saying? Now, I've discussed that. Now, just to give like a few closing thoughts and pretty much give a general overview of how this is going to be structured. So, again, it's week to week. Every week I'm going to upload a podcast. I want to say around like every Thursday, because the weekends, or I may do it on the weekends. Do it on the weekends, probably like between Thursday or Friday. I may do Wednesday be cutting it close, but we'll see where it goes from there. But it's going to be a week to week podcast, a weekly podcast. I say week to week, a weekly podcast, in which I have a variety of different people that I know, who they know, or what have you, come on here, and we just talk about general topics. Just the topic of the day, and I'm gonna just throw out a topic, and we may, as this grows, we'll have like different segments, and people will get their own segment on here, and people would be able to voice their opinions, share poetry, rap lyrics, songs, yada yada yada. Because at the end of the day, I want this to be a growth experience for most people. You feel me? That's really what I want, and hopefully, as this grows and I grow with it, and everybody else grows with it, we can achieve that. With that being said, that's the final little comments I got for this. To be honest, I running on like 12, almost 13 minutes. They're going to be usually longer than this because of how I want to generally structured, to where it's at least like, again, an hour or so where we can have a good amount of time. But since it's just me by myself for this first one, I'm going to keep it short, simple, sweet, to the point. And, that's it. I'll see you next week. I'll see you next week. Not gonna make no excuses, but I'll definitely be back next week with another episode. Till then, it's the Black Little Mac signing out.